Where's Rick?
Oh, I sent him home. I thought you'd be with the judge for a while. How'd it go?
It didn't.
Oh, what, he wouldn't see you?
You know damn well he wouldn't see me. You probably told him I agreed to this deal from the beginning.
Well, you'll never get a better deal than this.
A couple of chain gangs would be more fun than working under your thumb in the public defender's office.
You know something? That could be arranged, except I'd have to extradite you to another state. There's a dearth of chain gangs in the state.
Why are you doing this? What on earth would you want me to work for you in your office when we obviously despise each other so much?
Oh, speak for yourself.
You don't like me any more than I like you.
Well, girl, I think you ought to broaden your horizons.
My what?
Well, you know, up until now, your practice has been pretty clean, you know. I mean, a few messy divorces, but other than that, it's been really pristine. But then, when you have to handle something like Mark McCormick, who's a real termite, you just fall apart, you know? But there's something called justice. You can't throw the guy to the wolves. I mean, even a termite deserves a fair trial.
I'll be sure to keep that in mind in case you're ever brought before the judge.
I'm going to love to see you with the lowlights around here. I mean, compared to Mark McCormick, I mean, these guys make him look like Mr. Clean. But the funny thing is that they all deserve the same treatment under justice that you and I get, all right? So you're going to have to spend the next 6 months defending these people. I mean, I'm talking about rapists. I'm talking about wife beaters. I'm talking about murderers. And you are going to be their angel of mercy.
And you're going to be there right over my shoulder, laughing away, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I mean, your methods, your strategy should be reviewed. I want you to give the same passion to these cases as you give to the David Laurent case.
I would rather go to jail. I would rather die than work for you.
Oh, no, you're not sentenced to die. You're sentenced to 6 months as a public defender. Apparently, the judge felt that your service would be better used for the state. So, this judge is very sensitive about his creative ruling. So I think if you suggested something like, well, let's say 90 days in a county jail, well, he'd take that wrong. And besides that, you're not going to be working for me. I'll just be choosing some of your cases.
You're going to live to regret this. I hope you know that.
No, contraire. Fun is just beginning.
What public defender means. God, I love this country. Excuse me. I think I'll forgo reviewing the personal evidence here. You gotta be kidding.
Why?
Julia, small business is the backbone of America.
That's right.
I mean, where's your righteous indignation? I thought you'd be drawn to the cause of the underdog.
Let's leave the animal kingdom out of this, shall we?
Oh, come on. Here's your chance to work for the plight of the single working woman.
Working woman, single working mother. That's right. I've been thinking about this. You're friends with Cruz. You could talk to him and get him to let me take Brandon into the courtroom with me.
Motherhood. Apple pie versus the Elks Club. How about the New York Yankees?
Well, I was thinking of throwing myself on the mercy of the judge. I mean, after all, what can he do to me? The only money I have belongs to somebody else.
Let's not mention that. Anyway, the dollar damages are a civil matter. I'll just be addressing the criminal charges.
Keith?
No, I think Julia can help you with the bankruptcy papers. Can't you, darling? Please?
Why don't we talk about this later this afternoon? I'd like a word with Keith.
All right. This won't be on television, will it? Oh, no.
What is the promise, Brad?
Just due process. What's the matter with you? Are you afraid your ideals won't survive a close encounter with the guts of the legal system?
Guess what, Mr. D.A.? You have just launched your own undoing by making me take this job, because for every case you throw at me, I'm going to argue rings around you and all those other blasé incompetents that you call assistants. You're going to wish you had me behind bars.
You hate men, don't you?
Why? Are there any around here?
You know, I'd like to have you. Well, not behind bars, but behind closed doors. Maybe.
You know that.
Oh, come on. You can do better than that.
You just waiting for me to fall to pieces, aren't you? You think I'm going to run to the door and claw at it with my nails? Look, if a woman can't deal with come-ons from a sleaze like you, she won't make it past 25.
That's right. Let's get salty. Let's turn the air blue. Come on.
You know, it's people like you that make people like me hate lawyers.
Ooh, true confessions now?
Yeah. You know, there are some days that I wish the consumer group would just fire up the public and vote us all out of business.
Wait a minute. You think that I'm attracted to you?
No. It's more like S&M. You got me in a corner and it feels real good, doesn't it?
You know what makes me feel good is getting a drunken driver off the road. You know, ever seen a 4-year-old about bumper height go skidding about 35 feet down the road after impact and live? Nephew of mine. Maybe you'd like to meet the mother, complain to her about how I'm abusing you.
Look, I'm not making excuses for myself, but I didn't hit anybody.
Only by the grace of God. You know, lawyers like you make me sick. Because you're in your ilk. They think that law and order is just a game, and that you're too divinely clear-sighted to have to play by the rules like the rest of us. Higher, superior beings like you and Castillo can just glide right over little details like procedure and driving under the influence and what you did. What you were going to do to Mark McCormick.
Who told you about that?
Maybe I'm not a dummy.
The horse's mouth. Yes, I make mistakes. I don't happen to think that was one of them. And no, I am not immune to arrogance. However, it is a little hard not to feel superior with you in the room. I mean, first you make me feel like meat, and then lower than low. That's quite a law and order arsenal you got there, Mr. D.A. A simple sexual overture might be refreshingly old-fashioned. You'll never know. You, on the other hand, if someone would just wash your mind out with soap. Paper bag over your head might make you a definite maybe. Maybe. Gene, I'm sorry to keep you waiting. I just got back a preliminary lab report on 6 of those cookies.
I was just thinking about poor Kelly.
Yes, I know it's a very sad situation. However, we have to discuss it.
Once she gets out of that mental institution, she'll automatically have to stand trial, won't she? The police haven't found out anything to prove she didn't out-and-out murder Dylan Hartley, have they?
Not that I know of. Why?
I feel so bad for Cece. He'd probably do anything he could to help her.